All right, let us move along. Let's say hello to our next guest. In fact, this is the first time that I've had him on the program. Of course, here at ESPN, we've only been here for 2 months, but in the 9-year history of the show, and I'm wondering why. I can't really answer that question. He's won his last 2 in a row. He's coming off a big win over Glover Teixeira in Hamburg, Germany. His name is Corey Anderson. He joins us right now via the magic of Skype. There he is. Corey, how are you?
I'm good, Ariel. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. Where have you been, Corey?
I've been around. I've been waiting to get on your show for a while, but I'm glad I'm finally here.
Where's the love? That's what I'm wondering. I think that's what you're wondering, right?
Yeah, I think it's management. Nah, Ali's been doing his thing, but finally got me on here, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, he should be promoting you more. He should be getting you out there, pitching you more, trying to get people to talk to you. I blame him.
Yeah, I guess I could do that, but if I point the finger, it's 3 pointing back at me, so.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you on the program, and congratulations on your big win over Glover Teixeira. And I must admit, I was thinking about you recently because I said to myself, all right, here's Corey Anderson taking a fight on short notice against Glover Teixeira in Germany, wins that fight on very short notice, and then shortly thereafter, Glover Teixeira is booked in a main event. How does that happen?
Don't get me started on it. I've been trying to figure it out. Had that conversation with Ali as well. It's kind of messed up. I mean, not just that, but the ranking system, the fact that I beat him in dominant fashion on 2 weeks' notice as a number 3 ranked guy, and they only put me up to number 6, and the number 4 guy is a guy that I beat in dominant fashion my 3rd fight in the UFC when he was ranked 12th. I mean, it's just politics, I guess.
What's going on? What do you think? What's the reason behind this?
The way it happened so fast, the way I'm starting to think, because Jimmy was there at the fight, I feel like they had already had that pre-booked maybe thinking he was going to get an easy win, turn around, fight Jimmy in the main event in Brazil. I don't know. Like, people just said it, and at the same time, it's like you let it go in one ear and out the other, but at the same time, you think about it often, like how that this guy just got beat by me, and he's fighting not the fact that he's booked right away, but he's booked against the guy that beat me. If I just beat him, why would a guy that beat me take a fight against him on main event status when I said I would fight Jimmy again for a rematch? It's kind of like, whatever.
Did you or your management, did you guys talk to the UFC to figure out what the thinking was here?
Nah, right now we're waiting to see what's going to happen with the DC thing. I tweeted DC and told him I'll fight him for the title. They said if Ariel Latifi and Glover, the winner of that, will possibly get a title fight, the way I feel is Ariel Latifi, he got hurt. I stepped in. I took his opportunity. I won the fight when they contacted me afterwards and said it's a possibility that could happen, that I could get the next title shot. It's a chance. It might be a long shot. It might be a close possibility. Let's shoot for it, So I'd rather shoot for the stars and see what happens.
Yeah. Latifi, as you probably know, has been very vocal as of late, making these demands. He was on our show a couple weeks ago saying that DC either has to defend or vacate, but yet you're the guy who replaced him. What do you make of all this talk?
As like you just said, I replaced him. That was his opportunity. He missed his opportunity. I stepped in, answered the door for opportunity. So I think now, if it's going to go to anybody, it would go to either me or Gus. We see how DC vocalized itself, what do you think about the Gus fight. So I think it only leaves one other option, which would be me. People are saying Corey Anderson is 3-3 in his last 6 fights, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you look at Gus's record, he's 3-3 in his last 6. And he's had 6 fights in 5 or 6 years. I've had 6 fights in a year and a half to 2 years. I've got 12 fights in a 4-year career in the UFC. These guys don't have that many fights in the 4 years I've been here. So I've been staying active. I feel I've earned the respect. I won't say I've earned the shot, the guaranteed shot that I should have the title shot, but I'm fighting. I'm fighting fights. Every time Ali calls me and say they want you to fight this guy, I usually say yes. If I'm in training, if I'm not hurt, the answer has always been yes. Whether it's 2 weeks notice, 1 week notice, I've had 2 2-week notice fights. I tried to take one on 1 week notice when Jon Jones got pulled from UFC 200. I tried to fight DC then. I was in Vegas. I'm a fighter. I'm going to fight. So I feel I've earned the respect. I should have earned the respect that people shouldn't overlook me. They should stop sleeping on me.
Wow.
And I think with this opportunity I just took with the Glover fight, I've earned that chance to get the title fight.
I didn't know that about UFC 200. How close did it get?
I don't know. When I woke up that morning and saw they still hadn't had anybody, I landed like a red-eye flight there. I landed like 1 o'clock in the morning, woke up at like 7, and Twitter was still going off. No fight, no nothing. I called Ali like, yo, I'm here. I got like 12 pounds. If they can get me on it, I'll save the card, whatever. But then I got a call back saying they'd already had Anderson Silva lined up. So it's like, all right, well, if anything happened, let them know I'm in Vegas and I can go to a workout room or gym, something, and get this weight off right now. My coaches are there, Corner and Frankie Edgar. So it wouldn't be nothing for me. I'm always training.
What do you think? Honestly, trying to remove yourself from the equation, what do you think DC should do?
I'm type. I don't. A lot of people say, "Oh, he should vacate this and this." I don't think he should vacate. He's only had one fight outside. It's not like he's pulling a Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor had each belt and never even came down to defend it. He would go up to another weight class, then try to challenge another weight class. DC just stepped up to heavyweight. He won a heavyweight belt. So he's got the option, I think, to either defend the heavyweight or light heavyweight. But he only has 2 fights left as well. So it's kind of like I'm willing to wait around to see if he fights Brock Lesnar and that's it. That's fine. The belt will be vacated. And if they say we need to do one more contender fight to see who's going to fight for the belt, I'm willing for that as well. I'm not sitting here saying he has to vacate because it hasn't like he had the belt for a long time. It isn't like he's took the Ultimate Fighter, whatever, and that took time. But again, that's only one fight camp. I can see if it's been years he's been holding on to the belt and hasn't fought at all. He's staying active. He's still doing things. So, I'm not pressuring the man. I'm not going to be the one tweeting on Twitter and Instagram. He needs to vacate or fight. Vacate or fight. I'm waiting to see his decision. I respect him enough to wait.
Seems to be a lot of momentum these days that Jon Jones is going to come back sooner rather than later. How would you feel if he got a title shot upon returning after everything he's been through?
I mean, again, that's something else. If it was like a Brock Lesnar who's lost his last 2 fights got popped, came back and got a title fight, that I feel that's wrong. There's guys like Curtis Blades and that's deserve their actual title shot. But I still say Jon Jones has not been beat. Every time somebody talks to me, what do you think? I always say Jon Jones' biggest enemy or biggest opponent right now is himself. He screws himself up every time. You can't take away what he's done, whether he was on steroids or not. When he won, he's won. Okay. The fight IQ, he's got that. And if he got that shot, it's like you can't really be mad about it because he hasn't been beat. The one loss he has wasn't really a loss. And but would I like to get the opportunity before him? Yeah. I like to fight him for the opportunity, whoever it is. Like I said, I'm a fighter. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that would actually make sense. I also think you versus Latifi might make sense if you don't get DC as a sort of way to figure out who's the guy, who's the next guy. What do you think of that idea?
Like I said, I fight anybody above me. I want the UFC calling me like, "Oh, we want you to fight Sam Alvey or somebody that's not even ranked." That makes no sense. Like I said, I've been making strides to get here to the belt, and that's what I want. And if they list anybody above me, I'm game. But if the opportunity comes for DC, I want the DC fight. I would like the DC fight. I'm joining this sport. When I won the Ultimate Fighter, I told DC right there face to face up with Fox Sports, like I joined this sport to be the best. You have the belt, so eventually I'm gonna have to beat you for it. You guys laughing at me right now, but I'm pretty dead serious. Like I'm in this to be the best. So if I can get that opportunity to prove to him, like I wasn't just talking smack, I wasn't blowing smoke. I'm here to fight you. Like I said when I first got in the UFC, that'd be great. Him walking away, that'd be a great way to end it for me in his career and take the belt. But if it doesn't happen, if somebody else gets it, whoever in front of me that they name, I'm willing to take.
What a difference a year makes for you. Last year, I'm assuming a very frustrating year, 2 losses via KO. This year, 2 wins over impressive, names. Of course, no one bigger than Glover for you. What's the difference between this Corey Anderson and the one from last year?
It's the small details. That's it. And everything you do, you always hear coaches, you hear mentors, professors. Everything is the little details will make a big difference. Everybody want to do the big fancy stuff, go for the heel hooks here and there, the big fancy spinning kicks. Yeah, that'll get you a performance bonus, but it also gets you caught, it'll get you knocked out, it'll get you tapped, it'll get you ground and pounded, whatever it was. And like I told John Anik and Dan Hardy before the last fight in our little media or our little conversation, was last year, what people didn't realize is I had never did a kickboxing class. I had never taken a basic boxing class. I have never taken just a white belt jiu-jitsu class. I came from college wrestling to MMA to the Ultimate Fighter to the UFC, and it was always just thrown in there with the Sharks. When I first came to New Jersey, Mark Henry took me down to Henzo's and started sparring with David Branch, and it's been kind of like ever since I've been here, it's just always been, we're going to spar as professional boxer today. So it never took the time to go to a kickboxing gym or a boxing gym and actually learn how to block head kicks. When you're going against a southpaw, you don't step to the right, you stay to the left. Your right hand is always there. I never knew those things. So going against the Jimmy fight, I can't blame the small details on that. That was just my confidence. I let the people, the media get into my head to the point I didn't fight like I fought. I was doing too much movement, too much timid jumping around, and stepped right into his hook. But with the OSP fight, that was 100% the small details that I never knew. You know, before going into that third round, me and Mark Henry talked about this weekend. He told me the only way this guy can beat you at this point, Corey, is if he throws that left head kick. Do not step right and do not move your head right. That's the only way he can hit you. And if you watch the replay, that's exactly what I did.
Wow.
When I came back and studied the film and went to a kickboxing gym, and it was telling me the reason why that is, I was a fish out of water. I had no clue. I knew nothing about it. So I just spent a lot of time in a boxing gym in Trenton, New Jersey, Ike Williams, and Killer B kickboxing with the upcomer Carl Roberson, who was a glory kickboxer. And just basically between those fights, just drill boxing drills, basic boxing steps, the sweet science of boxing, and going to a kickboxing gym like 2-3 times a week and drilling my kickboxing, checking kicks, blocking kicks, keeping my hands up like a telephone instead of a microphone, different things that make a difference. And that's just the only change you've made.
It's crazy to me that you did all that you did, and you went through the Ultimate Fighter and all that stuff. You got wins in the UFC, and you didn't know those things. You were just working off instincts, off your God-given talent, but not actual like coaching and technique.
Pretty much.
That's wild.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's everybody think, oh, you're just a natural athlete, but that also wasn't the case. If you ask Mark Henry, you ask anybody, I'm always in the gym working. The difference is I'm working. I was working before, but it's kind of like I was just working to be working because I knew if I work hard, nobody can outwork me. I can gas guys out. I'm outpace guys. It is what it is. Well, after that, the OSP fight, I learned I can't just keep working to be working anymore. I need to work for a reason. So I got to those gyms and started working on kickboxing, like I said, 3 times a day, drilling. I would go to the gym or go out in my yard and just shadow box and work those things that I learned. Go to the boxing gym and do the same thing. And now that I'm doing well with those things, I'm still doing the same thing. Once we get off here, I'm heading to the boxing gym again and just working basic stuff. You know, so it's just, with my hard work and those small details I finally learned, I finally think I'm starting to grow into a complete martial artist and the best Corey Anderson every day.
Wow. And what did that do for your confidence last year before you had these epiphanies, like to get knocked out twice, young fighter? Did you start to lose confidence a little bit?
Now, one thing, again, it's my first time on the show, so you really don't know my story, but I've been a wrestler since 3rd grade. They say that all the time, but I didn't win my first wrestling match until I was a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
And coming off the OSP fight and the Jimmy Manuel fight, I went in the locker room with Mark and Ricardo and told them, like, Coach, it's a loss, man. We take losses, and I'm used to taking losses. I've been taking losses my whole life, but now I'm at the point where I can take that loss and I can grow from it. I started winning, and I understand. It's a great feeling to win now. But, you know, with a loss, you just got to keep your confidence up and keep your head straight. And remember, there's a reason why we're here. Yeah, everybody talking about, oh, one more loss, Corey Anderson's out. One more loss, Corey Anderson is done. We can't think about that. We're going to think about the positive. We got to think about what does Corey Anderson have to do to get better for the next fight. And that's where my mind is. And with that, with my family, my wife being in mixed martial arts, she used to kickbox and do MMA. She's a huge help. She sends me films, different things. So we just went to the drawing board and we put it all together with the coaches, brought in a couple new coaches, a couple new gyms to work with. And like I said, my confidence started skyrocketing in when I started learning these small details. Because I knew I was a hard guy to handle without any of that technique. So now that I got the technique, I know I was going to be trouble for everybody. And now it's just time for me to show them. I know Glover doubted me, and that proved him wrong with that.
By the way, one thing I've always loved about you, your nickname is phenomenal, but you moved away from the nickname. You went with Overtime, but I see you're wearing the hat that says Beast in 25-8. Are we bringing that back?
No, Beastin, like I told John Anik and Brian Stan when I announced the new nickname, Beastin 25-8 is still the brand. That's my company name, like all my Beastin 25-8 LLC. But Overtime is just the fight name. So we still got hats, we got clothes, we got shirts and stuff that say Beastin 25-8. But then we got the shirts with the new logo that says Overtime. But either way, we can go with either name. Whichever one they call, I'll answer.
Why did you move away from Beastin? I feel like that's phenomenal. And that logo, by the way, could you put your head down just a little bit so we can see it? There it is. Look at that thing. That's phenomenal. Why would you move away from that? Just forget about Overtime.
Like I said, we didn't move away from it. It was like Frankie Edgar and Eddie Alvarez. One day, there was the team always crack jokes. Mark Henry loves bringing it up in front of people. My nickname made it on the top 10 world's worst nicknames. It's like number 1 in MMA and number 3 or something in the world in all sports. And it was all cracking jokes one day. And Frankie and Eddie, I can't remember the exact. I think it was before Eddie fought Alvarez and Frankie fought Jeremy Stevens, and then Betty was there. And there's cracking jokes like, why don't we do like something that's like, Beastin 25-8 is because you always working. So why don't we go like time and a half? That's what Eddie said. And they're like, no, that don't even make sense. And then Frankie's like, overtime. That's what time and a half is. Let's do overtime. And it just stuck. So,
Okay.
After that, we deem myself overtime. OT, we can say OT, overtime, Beastin 25-8, whatever they want to say. So,
when did you come up with Beastin 25-8, and who came up with it?
My brother came up with it. The logos, the whole Beastin 25-8 thing is my brother. He was a professional poker player. And that was his mindset. As you can see, it's a spade. That's his thing. His ace of spade was his thing. So he always had the mindset, as long as I got one chip, kind of like Michael Chandler said, as long as there's 1 second left, it's time left on the clock, I'm still able to knock you out. And that was my brother's way of playing. As long as I had one chip, I could still win this tournament. And he was like, I'm a beast, man. I do this all day. And it's really what he did. And it was me training for wrestling and him doing poker. He just put us together where, like, we Beastin 25-8, bro.
I love it. This is great. Overtime, no more. Let's go back to that. We got to change your Twitter handle back to Beastin 25-8.
We'll do a Twitter poll. You post a Twitter poll and see what people say. You let me know.
I will do that. But what about the Twitter handle? It used to be Beastin 25-8. Now it's like Corrier_MMA. Why can't we go back to the old one?
No, I never had the handle.
You never had it?
Beastin 25-8. I wish I could have, but it was taken from the get-go.
Oh, man.
And then Ali just told me do something with your name or MMA at the end. We was trying to figure out the best way to keep it around the nickname, but they were all taken. Listen, my website is CoreyBeastin258Anderson.com.
Well, if Ali is a good manager, worth his salt, he figures out a way to get you that Twitter handle. He calls up the person, he makes a deal with them, something. You get that. That's your brand, my man. You got to stick with that.
If we can make that happen, Ali, if you watching, let's make that happen. If we can make that happen, I'll definitely change my Twitter and my Instagram handle to Beastin25.
Yes. All right. Well, I have to say, I need to apologize to you, Corey, because I've enjoyed this conversation thoroughly, and it's been way too long that I've waited to have you on the program. So I apologize for that. But you are here. You have arrived. You've won your last 2 in a row. Big win over Glover Teixeira. You should be in that conversation. And, I appreciate you putting aside your feelings and your differences and coming on this program, even though I have slighted you and not shown you the respect and love that you deserve.
Well, I appreciate your apology. And as a man, that takes a lot because I know that means a lot.
Thank you. All right, so I wish you the best. Good luck getting your next fight. If it's a title fight, if it's a top contender fight, whatever the case may be, good luck to you. Great to have you on the show, and we'll talk to you soon. I won't wait 9 years to have you back on the program.
I hope not. Well, all right, Ariel, you have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. You have a good show.
All right, thank you very much. There he is, Corey Anderson. Great stuff. Love that. Beastin 25-8. You got to go with that. That's like one of the more talked about nicknames in the history of this sport. And so he is campaigning. We've got Latifi campaigning. We've got all kinds of people campaigning. I actually kind of feel like Latifi versus Corey Anderson makes a lot of sense at this point. If DC is not going to fight at 205 next, which he probably isn't, if they are going to do the Brock Lesnar fight, and also let's not forget he just fought a month ago and his hand is broken, so let's not forget that. But I actually feel like Latifi, who Corey Anderson replaced, versus Anderson makes a lot of sense. I have to say, today's program has lifted my spirits greatly. A lot of people with great life lessons about overcoming things, overcoming obstacles, Lots of words of wisdom. A lot of pressure on DC these days. Defend or vacate. That's what everyone's saying. We'll see what happens. All right. Matter of moments, we're going to be joined by our next guest as the train continues to move along. As I alert the masses here. Whoops. Later on in the program, before we get to our next guest, I will remind you that we will be joined by Derrick Brunson. We'll also be joined by Kevin Lee. And then our last guest of the day will be one Sean O'Malley, the Sugar Show, who teased on Twitter yesterday that he will be on the UFC 229 card. I reported a couple of weeks ago that he was interested in fighting Alejandro Perez, although I don't think that fight is happening. So, because I think that Perez won't be available. Perez fought just a few weeks back in Boise, Idaho. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what Sugar Sean has to say. And if you have not seen Sugar Sean O'Malley's get-up for UFC 227, I do suggest you Google it because it was phenomenal. He looked incredible. He's got the facial hair going. He just looks amazing these days. He's like full-on Jimi Hendrix or Tommy Morrison. I mean, he looks straight out of the 70s. It's great. He's got the hair. He's got the get-up. He's got the facial hair as well. He's got the sunglasses. It's all working very well for Sugar Sean. So I'm looking forward to talking to him. So we'll talk to him at around 4:25. Kevin Lee, Derrick Brunson. But in a matter of moments, we're going to be joined via the magic of Skype by Santiago Ponzinibbio, who we have not seen in action in 2018. What a great 2017 campaign it was for him. Wins over Nordine Taleb, wins over Gunnar Nelson, and wins over Mike Perry. You'll recall the fight against Mike Perry in December in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And then he was primed for a big main event slot in May in Chile, in Santiago. And unfortunately, that fight did not come to fruition. He was supposed to fight Kamaru Usman on May 19th to be exact, but he injured his hand and was forced to pull out of the card. Now he's on the comeback trail. Curious to see and hear how he's feeling. And he's had a bit of a back and forth with Rafael Dos Anjos. Now, if you were online last week, you may have seen that on the Ariel and the Bad Guy program, I reported that RDA was just recently cleared to spar in December prior to his fight on the same card against Robbie Lawler. He actually tore his left ear, except for the tear there. It didn't come off completely, but there was a tear. It healed, but then in the Colby Covington fight, it reopened. And then after the Colby Covington fight, he had surgery. He sent me some pictures. You can see them on my Instagram. You can see them on my Twitter. They stitched it up. He's feeling better. And he was just cleared to spar for the first time last week. Said that he's hoping to return end of the year, around November, December. And he said he was actually interested in fighting Kamaru Usman. Well, Usman and his management team have said that they've been tabbed as the replacement should either Darren Till or Tyron Woodley not make it to September 8th. That he's going to train, cut weight, step up to the plate, get paid a little bit. We've seen this with the likes of Alexander Volkov recently and Thiago Santos, two recent examples. And so he's saying, after he was on the show not too long ago saying that he was offered a fight against Colby Covington on November 30th, that now he's being told, okay, prepare just in case something happens. UFC is doing this more and more, and quite frankly, I think this makes a lot of sense because, well, it makes all the sense in the world to have someone at the last minute ready in case there's a big injury so that the entire card doesn't fall through, especially when you have a title fight. So that's what Usman is doing. Ponzinibbio on the comeback trail, UFC going to Argentina. He is from Argentina. He has to be on that card, and he wants RDA. So there's a bit of a love triangle here going on at 170, and 170 typically over the past year or so has been a bit of a mess where there's just a logjam. It's like a good kind of mess. It's not like there's nothing going on. It's not like 205 where there's not a lot of young, fresh names like Corey Anderson, like Khalil Latifi, who are trying to make a name for themselves. At 170, you have a lot of guys who are just, on the cusp, I feel like, of stardom, on the cusp of being really considered and viewed as contenders. Santiago Ponzinibbio, in my opinion, would be one of those guys. Whether they go with the RDA fight remains to be seen. So in a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined, as I just opened this on my computer, by Santiago Ponzinibbio. I will remind you, as we are waiting for Mr. Ponzinibbio, that if you missed any of the program thus far, if you missed hearing from Demetrius Johnson or Marlon Moraes, Curtis Blades, Mickey Gall, etc., after the show's over, full hours, full show will be up on YouTube. You can also get the show, as always, on iTunes, on the ESPN app, via ESPN.com, all kinds of places. And the schedule is pretty quiet again this week, or very quiet again this week for the UFC, but it picks up for other organizations. In particular, PFL is back on Thursday, and very interested, of course, in the second pro fight for one Kayla Harrison. And also, and they're in Atlantic City, not too far from here, like around 2.5 hours or so from here. But also, Bellator is back with a pretty solid card featuring a lot of their young talent, which has become somewhat of a theme for them in 2018, trying to develop this talent. Likes of James Gallagher on the card, Darion Caldwell fighting our friend Noad Lahat, not at 135, at 145. So they're in a good spot there in terms of developing talent. That's another good card for them. And they just announced last week, speaking of young talent, that Aaron Pico is going to be fighting Leandro Higo. And I must say, I was very surprised when I saw that. Typically, if there's one knock on Bellator, it's not, and I guess the Scott Coker era, if you will, it's not that they can't find talent. It's that they maybe develop them a little too slow. And that has been, I think, the main complaint for the likes of MVP, right? Like, okay, when are you going to take him to the next level? When are you going to push this guy to the next spot? When are you going to have him fight higher ranked opponents? Certainly not the case with Aaron Pico. We remember what happened against Freeman in Madison Square Garden last June, and now he's fighting Leandro Higo, who just fought for the belt not that long ago. I was very surprised by that. Really surprised by that. I did not expect that at all. Also reported, speaking of Bellator, on Friday night, that Patricky Pitbull no longer fighting Goichi Yamauchi on their September, I believe, 21st card. He'll now be fighting Roger Huerta, who is stepping up to fight Patricky Pitbull after he stepped up to fight Benson Henderson. And we remember what happened in that fight. He lost that fight via submission after a 6-year layoff from Bellator. Fought for one, fought in other organizations. Took that fight, 1-fight deal. Still got signed afterwards despite the loss. Got signed to a 6-fight contract. And now he's fighting Patricky Pitbull, a constant at the top of the lightweight rankings there. A little bit surprised about that one. I thought a lot of people, I saw them saying, and I thought this as well, that he would, get built back up, so to speak, and maybe get a bit of an easier fight, but not the case for Roger Huerta. How about that? Bit of a surprise, if you ask me. So that's the story with Bellator. Let's now go to the aforementioned Santiago Ponzinibbio, who is joining us via the magic of Skype. There he is, my friend, Santiago Ponzinibbio. How are you?
Hey, Ariel. What's up, brother? How are you?
I
am great.
It's great to see you. And by the way, it's amazing to see you wearing headphones like that, because I see your ears. You got the cauliflower ears, and they're barely hanging on. Can you hear anything in those things?
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult, man. I need to put in the pressure, man.
Oh.
It's really good to talk with you again, bro.
Yes, it is great. Loved having you on the show the last time. And by the way, beautiful jersey you have there. You're wearing the Argentina jersey. Is that a Maradona? Is that a Messi? What do we have on the back? Or is it nothing? No name.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's not easy, bro.
Yes. All right. Well, let's talk, Santiago. We haven't seen you in a while. You were supposed to fight in Chile. That's the last time we spoke. We were talking about the fight against Kamaru Usman. You injured your hand. How is your hand feeling?
Yeah, bro. This sucks, man. This happens, this part of the game. I have an operation in my hand, but now I stay 100%. I recovery really, really good. I feel really good. I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited for back soon. I told UFC I am ready for back, but UFC say me wait for November and looking the opponent for me. And just wait for November for this event. I'm really, really excited for back fight soon, bro.
How disappointing was it when you found out that you couldn't fight in South America in the main event, Chile? How did you react to that?
Man, it's really difficult for different points. The most important for me is are really for me it's really exciting to have the first event in South America. Chile, is two sides my country. I love the people of South America. The people love me and all South America. I think it's a really good chance, a really good fight. I'm really excited for the fight with Kamaru Usman. I think it's a really good match for me. And, this happens, man. This is this part of the game. This is we work. The injuries. I never have injuries. I never pull up the fight for injury. I have a good time. I fight between 3, 4, 5 months maximum. I really like to stay in the fight in a good time. But this should happen, bro. It is what it is, man. This not good. I sad for not staying fight with my people. I sad for not make money for different points. But I back more strong. I back really exciting for fight soon, and the people see the best Santiago Ponzinibbio the whole time.
Yes, I look forward to that. Now, what about your hand? What exactly happened to your hand?
It's a problem. The ligament, cut the ligament and broke a little bit the bone.
Oh no!
I cleaned the bone and have the ligament new.
Okay.
And yes. I have the operation, but now I still good. My hand is strong, and I'm back to train. I feel good, bro. I feel great, man. Exciting for back, bro.
Are you clear to fight? Are you 100% now?
Yes. I told UFC, man. For me, I fight now. I fight. I need a fight, but UFC told me for November. I wait. I stay training, but I'm really excited for back.
They want you to wait for November because they're going to Argentina, right?
Yes, it's a big event. This Argentina's rumor is, but UFC says a big event in South America, November 17, and I have the fight in this event, and boom, I'm excited for the opportunity too, looking for an opponent. I am ready. I'm ready for this show. November is really exciting for I have other chance for fight in front of my people. For fit this energy, represent all people Latin America and the octagon. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's a huge opportunity for you. I'm assuming you'll be the main event, right? You'll be half of the main event.
Yeah. It's I big chance to make the main event in South America. This is a really good, bro. Really good. I am excited and training really hard for back. I told you, man. The people say the best Santiago Ponzinibbio the whole time in November 17, for sure.
So your management and also yourself recently have said you want Rafael Dos Anjos, and he has responded. Why RDA?
No, for it's the when UFC say me I wait to November, I say okay, no problem. I wait to November, but give me a top 5 guy. And UFC say the only top 5 guy I have now is RDA, but I don't know if he can fight. He have an operation in your If have his operation, he can training. I understand, I don't like the fight with a guy, no, he can training, it's no problem. After that, pass a few weeks, and UFC say he can't because he take a new son, he needs to stay with a family. I got you. I respect, the family first. If he needs to stay with a family, I understand. But, him last week told you in your show, Ariel, he liked the fight in November. What the man? Why he likes the fight in November? I give the fight in November. I give, he have the event, epic event in South America for make history. What more he needed for fight? He is a fighter or he is a diva? What is the problem, man? I don't understand. All my fights, I go for the house, the guys, I don't have problem, man. I go to Europe for fight with Gunnar Nelson. I go to Canada for Northern Italy, Canadian guy. I am real fighter, but him is a diva. Him fight in Brazil. In Brazil, he don't have problem. In Brazil, he can fight. He can fight. He can fight in Brazil all time, no problem. But he can't go to Argentina. Why? He can go to South America for other country. Why? Why? He's a fighter. He's a real fighter, or he's a diva. I don't understand, man. I'm a real fighter. I go to Chile. I go to all country UFC send me. I take all fight UFC give me. I never asking for opponents. I never asking for nothing. But now he's top fight guy. This match makes sense. It's a really exciting fight. I don't understand what is happening for this guy. Maybe he's afraid. He's scared. Maybe he's pissed off about my fight in December is more exciting than fighting him. He have many events. My fight is more exciting. He knows I am real problem in this division. Maybe he's afraid, he's scared, but he need a fight, man. He's a real fighter. He need a fight. He fight in Brazil, in your country, no problem. I don't understand, bro. I don't understand.
Wow, you are really fired up. You feel disrespected here, huh?
Yeah, for sure, bro. What is the problem? He told, I like the fight in November. Okay, let's do it, bro. We make this. Let's do it. We make history. It's a big event.
Yeah.
We make history. It's an exciting fight. What is the problem, bro? What is the problem? I can't go to Argentina. What the f***? He's a fighter? This is a princess. What? I don't understand, brother. I don't understand this guy.
Wow. And he responded to you, right? He wrote back to you on Twitter saying you could come to his gym if he wants, the Ruka gym. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I say, this is the real deal, bro. This is the real deal. He don't like the fight with me he knows I am real problem, I am tough fighter. He is afraid, And I say this for the media, I don't understand when UFC say me he needs to stay with a family, I respect. I have respect. The people know me. I am respectful. When UFC came me, he have operation in the air, I understand. I got you, no problem. He can train. I don't like the fight with that guy who stay 60%, 7%. I don't like. But when he says he told he liked the fights in November, I ready to do November, make a big event for history. I told the real deal. He stay afraid this fight. I don't understand why, but I say for him, what is the problem? For what reason he's ruining me? If he respond me, hey brother, coming in my gym, we make a fight in the gym. What the fuck? He's not professional guy. He likes the fight in the gym, but don't like fighting UFC in Argentina or in other country. Why? I don't understand, man. I don't understand this guy, brother.
This is great stuff. Brazil versus Argentina. What a fight that would be, right? There's a history between the countries and soccer. I mean, you guys fighting together, this would be a huge deal.
Yeah, brother. This is a big rivalry. This fight make all sense. It's a interest fight for South America, for Latin America, and for all world. For these two top 10 guys. Really exciting guys. It's a make all sense this fight. I don't understand this guy for what reason he's afraid. But, this fight is a really, really exciting fight for the fans. This is the most important, Give a show for the fans. Put a big show for a fan. If the fans in South America, all Latin America, and in America, and all parties, all countries in the world is excited about this fight. But if he stay with scary or afraid, I don't understand. Maybe, I don't know. I'm waiting for him, man. I'm waiting for him.
So you're not giving up on this fight. You're still going to hold out hope that they're going to book the fight for November, you versus RDA.
For sure, man. For sure. This is a really good main event. It's a really exciting fight for all fans. The people love, man. The people love this fight, man. The people in the media, you can ask it for the people. The people love this fight, man. The fans like this match. You can ask it for the fans. I don't understand. If not, is afraid. What is the problem? He like the fight in November. I fight in November. It's a big event, history event. He have a chance. They make history. What is the problem now?
What do you make of what's going on in your division, Santiago? You've got Darren Till fighting Tyron Woodley after he missed weight, and they say that Colby Covington, who's interim champion, is not going to fight next, and Kamaru Usman is going to be on standby. There's a lot of stuff going on at 170. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, it's good. It's exciting. It's exciting fight. I don't know if it's true. The rumor is maybe Kamaru Usman with Colby, or I don't know if Colby waiting for the bell. I don't know. My focus is my fight in November. I fight in November. I won this fight. I have 6 victories in a row, 3 knockouts in the first round. I have a really good work. I am ready for the belt, but maybe I need to wait one fight more. But it's an exciting fight, man. Now with Derrick Lewis and Tyron Good, it's a good fight. I really like this division, man.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Bro, Derrick Lewis need to make way first, man.
Yeah. He's a big boy.
He need to make way, but I don't know, man. This is really it's 50-50, but Till is good fighter, but I don't know if they could win maybe every week. But I think Tyron Woodley can win.
Okay. So here we are. We're waiting for this opportunity. What's the message to RDA? What do you want to tell him?
I'm waiting for him, man. I say in Portuguese, pô, cara, qual é o problema? Você quer lutar em novembro? Vamos lutar em novembro, porra. Qual é o problema? Tá correndo a luta por quê? Quer lutar em novembro? Estou pronto para novembro. Você pode lutar no Brasil. Quer lutar no Brasil? Mas quando tem que ir em outro país não quer lutar, porra. Que isso, você é lutador ou que porra você é? Só quer ficar escolhendo, porra. Vamos lutar em novembro, vamos fazer um show, dar um show para todos os fãs, entendeu, porra? Vamos fazer essa luta, cara. Vamos fazer essa luta acontecer. Eu estou pronto, estou esperando.
Wow.
Eu estou esperando por você. Eu estou pronto para essa luta, brother.
This is amazing. I have no idea what you just said, but I felt the passion. Could you give us a recap of what you just said?
Yeah. No, I just only say in Portuguese for him take this fight, man. I just only wait for him, for this fight. I am ready. I am ready for make history, for put a big show for the fans. This is the most important. And just I waiting for him. If he's a really fighter, he need to take this fight. If him is afraid, maybe him, put a different excuse, como he have,
Yeah.
The operation, after that, the son, and now is I don't like Argentina for his too cold. What the man? What the I don't understand, bro. I don't understand, really, man. It's a good one. It's a good meat. Argentina is a beautiful country, man. Come on, RDA. Other country. I don't know what is the. I don't know what is the real country, but it's a rumor. But it's a big chance. It's in Argentina,
sure.
Maybe other countries in South America. But I am ready for fight in any place in the world, man. For I am real fighter. I fight for any place.
What an honor that would be for you, right? If it is in Argentina, after everything you've been through, to go back home and headline a show, that would be incredible, right?
Wow, man. See, this is event. This is in Argentina. For me, it's a dream, bro.
Yeah.
It's a dream for my history. When I go to Argentina, I don't have, not have money, not have nothing, it's more than 10 years. It's really, I work really hard, a lot of histories, difficult in my life, but for me, back now in the bigger events in the world, MMA, I have the main event. This is for me knockout. Is knockout praise, man. For me, it's perfect, brother. It's a dream. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this happens. Just waiting for RDA.
Santiago, you're the man. I love the passion, my friend. It's great to have you back. I'm happy to hear the hand is doing better, and I hope you get this opportunity against RDA in November 17th. It's rumored to be Argentina. They haven't officially announced that, but what a scene that would be for you in particular. So thank you very much. Keep us posted, and great to have you back on the show, my friend.
Thank you, Ariel. Thank you for your time, man. Thank you.
All right.
And see you next time, bro.
Yes, we'll talk to you soon. There he is, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Wow, what passion there. That was phenomenal. I love that. That was great stuff. And I'm happy we got him on Skype in particular, because not only did we see the passion in his eyes, but we were actually able to see the amazing visual of those iPhone headset, the earbuds, hanging on for dear life. That was amazing. Never actually, I mean, that's a problem with the cauliflower ears. It's going to be hard to have those earbuds really get in there snugly, if you will. But that was great stuff. So he wants RDA. He wants him on November 17th. He wants him to fight him in his home country. Now, you could see he's kind of dancing around the whole, Argentina thing because they haven't officially announced Argentina. That's the rumor. That's what everyone thinks is going to happen. But they haven't officially announced it for whatever reason. So I think he's trying to be politically correct by not saying, it's Argentina. He's kind of hedging there. But it seems like it's going to be Argentina. So could you imagine Argentina's own Santiago Ponzinibbio against the Brazilian, knowing the history there from the world of football? Makes a lot of sense. RDA said he wants Usman. And in this particular case, I must just say, in RDA's defense, guy who just had his ear ripped off and typically fights the toughest, not a lot of people are asking to fight Kamaru Usman. And I think that is important to note. Not a lot of people are banging on Kamaru Usman's door to fight. So you can't necessarily say that he's, scared or anything like that. But Santiago calling him a diva, holy smokes. Them's fighting words. That's good stuff. Fired up. Last time I spoke to him, he wasn't fired up like that, talking about the Usman fight in May. He's pissed off. And he's such a nice guy. Remember his story, living on the beach in Brazil, didn't have any money, took a chance, moved out there to train, to follow a dream. Now here he is, title contender, hasn't fought in 2018. It's been a frustrating year after a phenomenal year in 2017, a breakout year, if you will. He was one of the breakout stars of 2017, hasn't competed in 2018 just yet. So he'll look to end the year on a high note in potentially his home country in a very big fight. I mean, that could be you kind of think if Woodley fights Till, the winner of that fight fights Colby Covington, there's still Usman out there. Probably even if he wins that fight, he's only 2 fights away, at least, from fighting for the belt, if not more. But certainly a win over RDA would go a long way. So let's see what happens. Love the passion. All right. A couple weeks ago, we found out that Israel Adesanya is returning to action, a guy the UFC is very high on, apparently. He will be returning to action on November 3rd, Madison Square Garden. He has been booked against Derrick Brunson. And if you haven't been following the back and forth on social media, and if you didn't see their face-off and some of the other stuff that they were doing while in L.A., that was very entertaining as well. You've been missing out. And so Adesanya has done a lot of media as of late. Haven't heard much from Derrick Brunson, so I wanted to catch up with him. Here he is, joining us via the magic of Skype. There he is, Derrick Brunson, joining us. How are you, Derrick?
Chilling, bro. Just chilling out. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to have you on the show. This is very exciting stuff. It seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems to be getting a little personal between you and Israel. Is that accurate?
You know what? It's funny enough. It feels like the build-up between me and Uriah Hall, and we all know how that went down.
Okay, so this is like deja vu for you.
Deja vu. I see it. I'm seeing it all over again. I'm seeing it all over again.
In what respect?
Say again?
In what respect? Like, what are you seeing that reminds you of the build-up to the Uriah Hall fight?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of it, man. Like you said, it's like a deja vu, man. It's crazy. It feels just like it. I kind of want to take them for granted, but, in this sport, you can't. A lot of people high on them. A lot of people believe in them, but I'm not too much of a believer. But I'm going to put in a good training camp and train like, he's one of the better fighters.
Why aren't you a believer?
I'm just not, man. I just can't trick myself. Every fight I train for the opponent, very hard, very smart, put a lot of work in, which I will do. That's just for myself, but I'm just not a believer in the kid. I mean, I think he's a good striker. I don't really think he's a great striker. He's long. He's somewhat athletic, but everybody's super high on him, even you guys, so I'm excited.
Who's you guys, the media?
The media, Ariel Helwani. I see the other guy who reports with you. All of you guys loving this guy, Hey, it is what it is. You got a young guy who's fresh, who's putting on good fights. Not really finishing anyone, but He's doing what he needs to.
You think it's all hype?
Say again?
You think it's all hype?
Do I think it's all hype in the sense of, mixed martial arts? Yeah, I think it's all hype. I think he's just a striker. Like I said, I don't even really think he's that good of a striker. He lost to some average kickboxers. I mean, I don't see you guys having those guys on your shows listen to what that guy said, So
now, where did this all start between you and him? Because it seems like there was a bit of a build-up leading up to the fight announcement that he maybe has taken issue with some things or he was calling you out and you were responding to him. What's the catalyst to all of this?
So funny enough, I saw Israel about 2 or 3 years ago when I fought Dan Kelly in New Zealand. He came up to me and started talking to me, and anybody who come up to me and talk to me, I'm like the coolest dude ever. We're gonna have a conversation. We can go hang out. We can go play basketball, whatever. So it was right after weigh-ins, and he says that he came up and talked to me and I ignored him. Where it was right after weigh-ins and the UFC, we're about to have the meeting with Dana White, and they're like, all right, get to the back, and I see him, and I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? He was like, I'm so-and-so. He's like, I helped DC train for Jon Jones. I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Yo, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I kept it moving. But he's like having that as a chip on his shoulder, like, oh, you ignore me, try to big time me. I'm like, bro, listen. He said I know who he was at that time. I didn't know who the kid was. But yeah, it's just a little, he a little upset. So.
Do you even remember this interaction at all? Like, do you remember even seeing him?
Say it again?
Do you even remember this interaction at all?
Yeah, no, I remember it. I remember it because I was trying to put my hands on it because I heard him mentioning my name in interviews. Funny enough, when I was about to fight someone after maybe his like first UFC fight, they were asking him about, was it you or somebody else was like naming middleweights? They were like, so-and-so, Jacare, he was like, Crocodile Sushi. Somebody else is like Derrick Brunson. He was like, ha ha. He just started laughing. So I'm like, what is that all about? So I heard my cousin told me, he was doing interviews like saying, oh, Derrick Brunson knocks people out so I can knock him out. And he was just, I don't know. Other people was like, yo, just tagging me. Hey, what do you got to say about what Israel said? I'm like, what did he say? And so I never heard. So he's been kind of like mentioning my name here and there. And I had a fight. And all of a sudden, I was supposed to fight Antonio Carlos, and I had an eye issue, so I had to pull out of the fight, Just got over that. So the UFC came and offered the Carlos fight and asked about Israel. Israel kept talking trash because I had a fight. So I said, hey, forget this Anthony guy. Let me and Israel do it since he's talking so much, So I think he was talking about me, and he didn't want to fight me because I had a fight. He was talking about me because I had a fight.
Yeah.
But when I accepted the fight, he tried to act like, I felt he didn't really want to fight.
Oh, wow. So you think he was calling you out because he knew that you were booked, and then you got free.
So and he came to me, he said, the UFC made you fight me. UFC didn't make me do anything. They can't make me do anything, first of all. And I had a fight. I had a fight with Antonio Carlos. I got the whole Brazil sending me messages on Facebook, Instagram saying, you chicken, you scan on top of Antonio. And it's all because Israel's running his big mouth. Like I said, I had a fight, but I asked for this fight because he was running his mouth and he asked for it. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
I saw you guys posting videos of each other. You saw him in the hotel. He saw you in the hotel. Were there any interactions behind the cameras?
Bro, Israel is fronting so hard. He is so scared of me. It's not even funny. He tried to shake my hand in public, and I was so startled that he was talking so much trash, and he tried to shake my hand. I just shook his hand like, oh, okay, kid. I got you. I know you're scared, So he's scared. He's scared to death. He just got to play the role. He got to go out there and hope that I come at him really aggressive. He able to counter me. But I promise you, Ariel, you got to understand, nobody else has fought besides Whitaker. Whitaker that's fought all the toughest fights. I fought Olympians, wrestle Olympians, judo Olympians, the best counter strikers, the best strikers who made this sport. I have a crazy resume, In the fights that I lost, it was all my doing. I was too aggressive. Look at Jacare fight. I blocked the kick with one hand. Just make a silly mistake. Everybody else too aggressive. So we're not gonna make this mistake again.
When you view Israel and his skill set, and you compare him to those guys that you're talking about, the Jacares, the Whitakers, the Romeros, the guys that you fought, do you feel like this is actually a step down for you?
It is a step down. And listen, let me. I wasn't even gonna say much because this kid is so funny because it's called articulation. It's called smartness. He really don't get it upstairs in a simple fact. He says Jacare is one of the stiffest guys and he knocked you out twice. Okay, first time I fought Jacare, I was green. My first year fighting, I just ran at him and tried to just knock him out. Boom, I got caught. Second time, I blocked the head kick with one hand. Okay, he said Jacare's stiff, but you know if somebody actually stiff and they hit hard, a big, strong guy, it doesn't matter how stiff you are if you hit hard. So,
yeah,
the guy's delusional, but it is what it is.
What about his win over Brad Tavares? What do you think of that? That was impressive, no?
Not impressive. You guys can't be serious. That was not impressive. I'm not even going to disrespect Brad, but that was not impressive. How was that impressive? I think Brad was supposed to be out of the fight. He was injured. Probably should have pulled out of the fight. He didn't look himself. And Brad's like a technical kickboxer, very technical. Everybody's like, oh, he's a wrestler. Brad's not a wrestler. Like, Brad didn't wrestle in college. He didn't wrestle in high school.
Man.
Like, yeah, not impressed by that.
When you guys were squaring off in LA at that press conference, what were you guys saying to each other?
Oh, I told him that's it. I told him that's it. That's it for him. I'm gonna ruin his hype. You know, he should have shut his mouth. I'm not really the guy that you want to talk to. He probably would have been better off fighting somebody like Jacare or somebody else where he could have outpointed him from the outside. But I'm not a guy that's just gonna let you dictate or do whatever you want to. And even some of those guys like Brad Tavares kind of lost his spirits during the fight. He had a split decision to the Vittori kid, which I thought he lost. You guys said I thought he lost that fight. Before that, this first fight, he got taken down twice and just doing athletic stuff, scrambling and rolling across his head just to get up. Like, I'm not impressed by this kid. His striking is okay. He's long, which is the best thing that he have going for him. Doesn't hit hard. So, I mean, this is the fight that I like for sure. One of the easier matchups I had in the UFC.
Wow.
Granted, he's a great striker, but one of the easiest people to prepare for. And I have some guys that I think I'm gonna bring into camp who beat him, like the guy who beat him twice, one guy who knocked him out in glory, and the other guy who beat him last. I've been communicating with those guys. I'm bringing them into camp. We're gonna be plenty ready for this fight.
Oh
sure.
Yeah. Are you training for this one at Jackson's or back home in North Carolina?
I'm putting it together. I think I'm gonna fly some guys in. Like I said, the guy. Sorry, I don't want to misspell my guy's name. His name starts with a W. Will. He fights in glory. He's about to fight Marcus Simon. Will, you know? Maybe
New York Rick, our resident glory expert, could tell me, but I'm not a kickboxing guy.
Okay. Well, he fights in glory. He beat Israel. Funny enough, you guys are all on Israel, but this guy went 0-2 in glory. Like,
yeah. I know that.
Everybody act like I see people sending me messages acting like he's like a kickboxing guy. He beat up a whole bunch of dudes in New Zealand. They were like smokers, like armory fights, you know, guys who really can't kickbox, first day in the gym, and they count them as pro wins, you know. But when he came to glory, guys who, you know, 30-8 kickboxers, he lost those fights. So
Jason Wilness,
yes. I'm gonna either go to Holland and train with him for a little bit, or I'm gonna fly him in.
Okay. Now, what do you make of
we're gonna be plenty ready for this
his
fight,
whole shtick about peeing in the cage? This is my yard, all that stuff. What do you make of all that?
Say that again?
You know, his whole thing where he's like, I'm the dog. I just peed in the cage. This is my yard. This is my territory. You know, the trash talk, the bravado, the demeanor. Do you get a kick out of it, or is it annoying?
Bro, I like it. But the funny part is, what are you going to say? What's going to happen? I'm not even going to say if. I'll start with when, and then I'll put if I knock you out and you're a kickboxer. What's going to happen then? Ariel, what are you going to do? What are you going to say to him? Because I know everybody's hot. What are you going to say to him?
I'm not gonna say much. I mean, I think it's a great fight. I love the fight. It's awesome.
Yeah, okay, but that's what I'm saying. I'll take every. I think when you have I'm not a stupid guy. I'm a very smart guy. Okay, I know he's a kickboxer. I know what he's bad at, so I can make him look really bad. You know.
What's he bad at?
He's bad. He's bad on the ground. I see he's like supposedly a blue belt, but that's nothing. He's bad on the ground. His wrestling's not good. He does a lot of. I'm not even like I said. Trust me. I got something ready for that chin. I promise you. I have something ready for that chin. I broke down his video. I watched his video. I see holes in his game, and I have something for his chin. And I know he don't have much of a chin. Okay, he's a little frail guy, but I have something that I'm going to touch him with. I think I get to finish.
Wow.
Finish early.
What do you think it says about MMA where, like, as you say, the guy who lost in glory is doing so well in the UFC? Do you feel like maybe the striking is just a little bit, you know, is not quite at the level of kickboxing, so a guy like him is able to succeed more in our sport? that's been the knock on MMA, right? That there's no like elite strikers, so to speak, and maybe a mid-tier striker. Not calling him that in particular, but a guy who maybe didn't do well in that sport could do better in mixed martial arts. Do you feel like that's the case here?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, if the guy would have just shut his mouth, I would have helped him out. You know what I mean? But now I'm gonna have to beat him up because he runs his mouth, because he have to evolve his other parts of his game. You know, he have to get in front of wrestlers and stop acting like he knows it all and like his kickboxing gonna take him so far. Yes, it'll take him certain places and he's gonna win certain fights. He's gonna look good against those kickboxers. But what are you gonna do when a guy that want to take you out, put you on your back and keep taking you down? You're gonna eventually get tired and you're gonna quit and get beat all up. Now, you know, you're gunshot for the rest of your career.
So what are we saying? We're saying finish on November 3rd?
Am I saying finish?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. For sure win.
Okay.
Finish? I think so. I'm a finisher. I think let's say I take him down. Let's say I don't knock him out on the feet. I think I'll be way too much on the ground, man. Be just, you know, putting it on him. You know, my ground is pounding is serious. So think for sure I'll finish him.
And there's a bit of like a middleweight tournament brewing on that card. What do you think about that? Do you like being a part of that? And MSG of all places.
Man, it's good, man. It's good. Hey, Ariel, you like I say I don't know. Costa may beat Romero. I think he might try to just run him over early. He might catch him, you know.
Well, I don't think that fight's happening on that card. I think they jumped the gun on that one.
Switching it?
Well, it never really was a thing. That's a whole different story for a different day.
Okay, all right. Cool.
I like the idea of you. You know, everyone talks about the legend killers. I like the idea of you being the prospect killer. Take out Israel. Take out Costa. You be that guy.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all. You know what I mean? And it's funny because these guys were mentioning my name before, and it made no sense for me to be ranked 6th to fight a guy who has no notoriety unranked. But now you guys are ranked. You've been talking, so now you're in my wheelhouse, so we can do something.
Yeah, that's interesting because I said that when the fight was booked. I was surprised. A lot of people are saying, "No, I don't want to go backwards. I've heard that like a bunch of times, even today on the show. You're the one guy saying, "All right, this guy wants to fight. Let's go backwards. Let's fight him. No problem. Respect."
Yeah, he's not too far away. You know, he's ranked. You know, anybody ranked is fair game. I mean, let's be honest, man. The UFC is tough, so it's a lot of tough fighters, a lot of good fighters. So everybody's fair game.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, Derrick. Best of luck to you in training. Good luck in the fight. I'm sure I'll talk to you beforehand, but wanted to get your thoughts on everything that's going down. This is going to be a fun ride up until November 3rd.
Sounds good.
And by the way, big ups on the social media. I see you up in your game. It's a good thing that you're doing. I like it.
A little bit, man. I've been too busy, man. I've been too. You know, hey, I used to be the social media killer even before Derrick Lewis and what's the other guy? I used to post all the memes. I used to be that guy. I just been too busy to do all that. You know, I have my kiddos, you know, getting ready for school, checking homework. I have my gym, training.
I like it.
It's a lot.
You're talking about your kiddos. You're rocking on your rocking chair outside your house.
I know,
you're
right?
like an old man already. Jeez.
Chilling out.
Derrick, thank you very much. Good luck in training. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Later. All right, there he is, Derrick Brunson. Wow, November 3rd coming up. Bit of a middleweight tournament. Not sure if that fight between Romero and Costa is actually going to be a thing, but Weidman Rockhold, that fight, there's something brewing. I like the build-up between this one. And it is worth noting, not a lot of people are going backwards these days, and that's really the fundamental problem with the rankings at this point, because they're the official UFC rankings, and everyone's like, why should I'm number 8. Why should I fight number 12? I'm number 6. Why should I fight number 11? Well, someone has to fight backwards, right? You're not always going to get the opportunity to fight up. In this case, Derrick Brunson saying, high-profile guy with a lot of hype behind him. UFC seems to be on board. Let me knock him off. And here's the thing. Sometimes it doesn't matter what number you have next to your name. It's the name. It's the actual name. It's not the ranking. It's the actual name. Being the first guy to derail the Israel Adesanya hype train, even if he is ranked, you know, whatever he may be ranked. I don't even know what he's ranked. According to these Fugazi rankings. What do we got here? Just for the sake of this conversation. middleweight? Where's middleweight? Here it is. Adesanya is 9. Brunson 6. So very close. Even so, there's a lot more stock behind him, right? A win over him means a lot. So that's going to be a fun one. They've been going back and forth. They had a good stare down, one of the better stare downs in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago. November 3rd, Madison Square Garden. Romero Costa may not be official. That fight, official. Brunson, Adesanya. Appreciate him stopping by.